Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. In this video we're going to take a look at both charts, Bitcoin and Cardano. We can see that the market continues to be red. Since my last videos about the altcoins, not too much has happened, but Bitcoin has dropped even further, in line with my primary expectations that the price is dropping into the region of my target area. We're still quite far away from that. But yeah, let's take a look at that. Before we start, we have a look at the Fear and Greed Index. Yesterday it was still sitting at 52, so fairly neutral. It has dropped overnight here in the UK to 30. We're back in fear. There is still much more room for further downside. I mean, we are at 30 now. I think after the drop on the 22nd of January, we were even here at 11. Yeah, and I think in December, or am I wrong here? No, I think 10 or 11 was the low. So yeah, we have more room for further downside here. And that would be in line with my primary expectations. So here, still my pattern here, or my view that we've done something like this, like an ABC correction after a wave 1. Moved to new all-time highs back in April 21. We are now in a wave 2. And this wave 2 should ideally end below 28.7k. My minimum I've put as 20k because that is the high of the previous bull market in 2017. But yeah, indeed, it could even drop lower. But I think the ideal level for that would be 27k. That is the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level of the last impulse. And therefore, the 61.8% is for me the one with the highest likelihood where we should see the price to go to. But if we drop below that, I think we can expect prices even possibly around the area of 15,000, because that would be the 0.786 Fib level for Bitcoin. And that is where we are seeing a lot of altcoins at the moment. All right, where are we here with Bitcoin? We talked about the neckline of the head and shoulders here. Yeah, of that huge head and shoulders. So this is here, this ascending trend line. We talked about here a potential retest of this neckline. If it doesn't retest it as resistance, we can expect quite a bit of a, well, sell-off or a reaction. And I think we saw that here. We didn't quite get there even. The market already stopped at this previous resistance line, 44.5k. We talked about it. And we sold off roughly 8% yesterday. That is quite significant. It's still nothing too unusual. You can see in this whole downtrend we had moves like that. So it's part of a downtrend. Even in an uptrend you get that. But yeah, it is in line with my primary expectations. As you know, my target area is down here. There is this other scenario. If we break above 46.5k, we can get all the way up to 65k. Ideally 55k though. And this is also just an extension of the whole correction. So even in this other scenario would come down into this area here afterwards. This area or this alternative has become less likely now, given that we have dropped below 41k. 41k is a key support level here, and now obviously resistance. So we're zooming in. So this inverse head and shoulders obviously hasn't played out, at least not yet. I'm not sure if it's gonna, if it will be. To do it, we now need to see a higher low and then to approach the 46.5k resistance level. But you are seeing here that we have obviously made, if I go to the 1 hour chart, you see it even better. We have made a series of lower lows here and lower highs, and even this swing high here was lower than the previous high here. So it is a good chance that the wave 4 is already in. However, we don't really know until we are there, right? We don't really know. We can only make assumptions. So far, it's looking good for my primary expectation, even as we are dropping below 41k. So I said yesterday in my video, we were just above 41k, that I do expect now the price to go up slightly. Now that didn't happen, but what is happening now is consolidating. And the reason I said that, not in terms of, right, we are now invalidating this downtrend. No, it was because on the shorter time frames here you were oversold, and we are now seeing that correcting. Yeah, so due to the consolidation, so we're not even coming. I thought we see a counter reaction. Well, for my primary expectation, is quite good that we don't see it, it will just accelerate the sale to the downside. This consolidation here, you could call maybe a bear flag. Yeah, so we're forming here some sort of a small triangle. So it's just a continuation pattern, I would say. You can see how we are moving into the apex. We should see a move fairly soon. On the 1 hour chart, you were just massively oversold, right? So there was not much more scope where it could fall down into the RSI on the 1 hour chart. So logically, you had to expect some sort of a, how do you call it? Just a consolidation of the downtrend, right? And this is what we're seeing here now. And on the 4 hour chart, I believe we were also nearly oversold. Yes, nearly oversold here. On the daily though, there is still much more scope for further downside, much more scope. So remember when we were down here at 33K, I said, we need to recover a bit. We were just massively oversold. That's what we've seen, because that's what has to happen. Otherwise, you can't really drop much further with being so oversold. Yeah, and yeah, I think I remember here we were I mean, here the last time we were that oversold was in March 2020. Okay, so you had to correct, and that is what we have to do now on the shorter time frames as well. And the next step would be the 39K level. That is here the lower support of the target area. It seems to be really that we are retesting here this channel that you can see coming down here. That was previous support, that we are retesting this as resistance. We're also in a small apex of a triangle there, and if that gets retested successfully, then I think you can expect the next sell-off soon. Yesterday, and we were still sort of in the green back then, middle of the day yesterday, we talked here about a potential bearish cross on the MACD, that I think the decision if we are going to see this extended correction or a fast sell-off will be made on the daily time frame. And I think we are seeing this play out. You can see how we are seeing on the daily here the MACD dropping into the negative. And I did say if we see that happen, we can expect further downside. So I would now believe that we are going to see further downside. I remain with my primary expectation that we are going to come down into the 20 to 28.7K level. Now everybody gets bearish again. I watched a few other YouTube videos of people who talked about the low could already be in for Bitcoin. Were quite confident actually about that, and now they turn bearish again. See, I remain bearish here all the time, and I don't just change my scenarios. So sometimes you don't really know, and I told you here that I don't know if we're going to go down straight away from here or first up a little bit and then down. But overall, both corrective scenarios seems like my primary one is playing out. Cardano surprised me a little bit that Cardano is holding above $1.02. We briefly dropped below it yesterday, but we held the $1 level. And also today, Cardano is holding above $1.03. I think it did win a little bit against Bitcoin, while Bitcoin dropped quite significantly yesterday. Well, Cardano did so as well, but I think overall it has held the $1.02 level. For now though, as you can see here, Bitcoin dropped 7% in the last 24 hours and Cardano 4%. But in the end, some of the altcoins they dropped considerably less as well. So Bitcoin really led the way here in the downtrend, and a lot of the altcoins just made a higher low for now, okay? If Bitcoin drops, of course, below this 39K level, the lower support of the target area for the wave 4, then I think you will expect that this $1.02 level is breaking, and then we are going to see a price of 92 cents. That is the next key support for ADA. Overall, ADA is still here in this descending wedge that we've seen here. Typically a bullish pattern, but within this, as you can see, we've got a descending triangle. You've got the white horizontal support line and the orange descending line. So that could push the price down lower. And in line with Bitcoin's drop, I would primarily expect ADA to drop as well. And that is my view here on Bitcoin and Cardano. Hopefully you like the update. Of course, I keep you updated about further price movements. It's, as I said, also for Bitcoin, not yet confirmed that we're going to drop into my target area, but it is getting more and more likely the more support levels we're going to cross. The next one, as I said, is 39K, and the next resistance is pretty much at 41K. We're just below it. So yeah, it's getting interesting, and I'll keep you updated. And if you want to see more content and don't miss anything, then yeah, maybe check out the channel membership. You can find the link for that in the video description. You can do that on my website or here on YouTube. And depending on your membership level, you can get access to the Discord group, the Telegram group, live chat, and a weekly live stream. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.